Welcome to Get Heavy Podcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Get Heavy Podcast. This is attempt number 2 today.
Yes.
We had a complete audio failure earlier.
And then a meltdown.
And then our savior, fucking Josh Breckenridge, showed up today. Owner of MMGC, Memento Mori Grappling Club. My sensei. He came in immediately, took my seat. Immediately took my seat and my microphone, and I couldn't even say a fucking word to him about it.
Is this your seat?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Normally,
No,
but
not
yeah.
at
I would
all.
have rather
It really
sat there. That looked more comfortable.
No, dude.
It's
good.
not.
Yeah, you're good.
The chair's uncomfortable.
Oh, it is?
It is, yeah.
Well, then you just live in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He full power
It
played
made
as soon as he walked in here.
me so happy
Yeah.
to just hear
To
him
alpha
to
move and
hear
get
him
full
not say
alpha.
a word.
It's a
was
full fucking
awesome.
alpha.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I sat here and relished that.
I bet you did, yeah. What's up, dude?
Not much.
How are you? Thanks for being surprised on the podcast today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this is cool. I just finished class, and I was like, I should text him.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if you meant come on the podcast or come and hang out with me and Brett.
Okay.
Because Brett Herman's in town.
Yeah, yeah.
Who's on the last episode, right?
No, we didn't. We didn't do a pod with him. We hung out with him yesterday.
You just drank with him.
We just had
went
a
and had
day,
lunch,
dude.
hang
Yeah.
out.
He wanted
Yeah.
to do some Ventura shit. We went to Salzer's.
Oh, cool.
Went to Mother's Tacos. Have you been there yet?
No. But it looks
Damn,
good.
that place is good, dude.
It's legit.
Is it?
It
No,
is
yeah.
so good. Yeah,
From the biggest food critic we know. It is bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The food's just so good.
yeah.
Do
High
you-
quality.
Do you fear Craig a little more now that he's a blue belt? Have you guys discussed that on the podcast?
We've discussed it. We've discussed
Have
it.
we?
We kind of got into a little bit just through text messages because I told him, and I mean it, I'll stab you.
Yeah.
It's true. The jiu-jitsu doesn't work against that.
It
doesn't.
stabs.
Yeah,
And
you
that's
can,
what
you
he
can
said.
still get stabbed.
He said, he goes, I'll just flop on my back and scoot towards you.
Yeah. So
And,
you
I'm,
ain't
and
gonna be
then in
able to
my
stab
head,
me,
I'm
dude,
like,
when I'm on my butt
I'm all,
scooting.
yeah, when I'm like, you know, if you've trained, I'm assuming you've trained in knife fighting.
A little bit. Yeah.
Okay, so one of the fundamentals is whatever is there is what you get.
Yeah.
You
So
don't
you're
try
gonna
to
get stabbed in
stab
the
the
foot.
throat. If they
Yeah.
punch at you, stab them in the knuckles, stab them in the arm.
Yeah.
You know, there's different points where you want to try to cut them.
Yeah.
But if he's scooting on his butt towards me, I'm just gonna stab him in his legs. I'm not gonna try to get in there and get at him.
I think
you know.
one of the more eye-opening things was when I went to train with a guy that did this knife fighting stuff, and he had me wear a light-colored shirt.
Oh, yeah.
And he put the
Yep.
knife in like the little die stuff.
Oh,
Yep.
fuck.
And it's like we're kind of like sparring a little bit, and you know, I'm training martial arts most of my life.
Right,
and I'm
right.
Like, let's see how I do.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
like your
gnarly.
shirt's just covered in marks. It's like sick.
been
So
sliced
against the
70
dude with a
times.
knife,
Yeah.
none of it
Yeah.
works. You
Yeah.
die about 40 times.
You're getting cut.
Yeah.
There's no, if somebody pulls a knife out and you're about to get into it, you're getting cut. There's
Yeah.
no, and all the high level guys will tell you, like, it's just who's going to cut who the worst.
Yeah.
Is
Right.
where that's how that works.
Yeah.
Because especially you watch, and I love to watch it, where they do you put on a white shirt,
Yeah.
little red ink, and then you just sit there and you watch them and they come up to each other, and then all of a sudden it's just a flash of movement.
Yeah,
And
it's
there's
over.
2 or 3 cuts on the guy, and you're like, holy shit,
Jesus,
man.
yeah.
It's
I find
nuts.
like any martial art you attempt is super humbling.
Yeah,
Pretty much, yeah.
They're all mega humbling.
Yeah.
And people make fun of me because I'm a jiu-jitsu coach full time and I carry pepper spray.
Right.
They're like, why would you carry pepper spray? I'm like, I don't want to fight anybody.
Yeah, of
Just-
course, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the fuck away from me. Yeah, totally,
You know
man.
how much better your jiu-jitsu works? Like when you pepper
When they
sprays-
can't see and they're in pain.
So,
yeah.
and then you say all that, and when we first talked, you were talking about doing Muay Thai.
Yeah.
And I literally was thinking about you yesterday and was thinking, God, I would much rather he broke my hand than kick me in the head.
Yeah.
I can't kick heads anymore. I'm too old and fat.
Yeah.
I'd
I'm
rather
a
you
thigh
not.
kicker.
I'd rather
Fuck
you
up a
not do
leg
that.
if you
yeah,
wanted
I will
Yeah.
break a leg in half with my leg. I'm real good at kneeing ribs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fucking
I've
over, dude.
adjusted my style as time has gone on.
Yeah, but
my
still.
jiu-jitsu style as I've gotten older is like sloth jiu-jitsu now.
Yeah.
I'm like attach myself to you and bear hug
Dude,
you.
it's
so
so
you can't
rough.
hurt me and try to get on top of you and smush you.
Dude,
Yeah.
when you roll with him, it's a fucking nightmare, dude. Like,
Yeah.
because he's big anyway, and I'm a big guy, and I have top pressure. I can put pressure on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
definitely.
when I get to experience the same from him, I'm like, this sucks, dude. Like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
And then Josh, like, you're at that level where you don't move. You don't have to move that much. You know what I mean? Like, so he'll get you and you just, and you're just struggling to get out and you're like, and then you move your arm and he's all, got it. And you're like, motherfucker, you can't do shit, dude. It's like, it's ridiculous, you know? But then there's guys at that gym that give everyone a fucking hard time. You know what I mean? Like, it's wild, dude. Like, and as soon as I got my blue belt, you know, which was a big deal for me, and I've talked about it on here. It was fucking awesome, you know.
Yeah.
You deserved it, by the way.
Like 7 fucking times immediately.
I will say that publicly. Craig is an absolute legit blue belt.
Thank you. Yeah.
He deserved it.
Yeah.
He put his time in. He's one of those guys that trained at more than one gym for a while and kind of got lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
I think I said that when we gave you a blue belt.
Sure. Yeah.
But yeah, he deserved it, dude. He's good, dude. His fundamentals are sound. He's very good.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that he continues on and see where the journey goes.
I'm definitely doing my 2-week celebration of like every blue belt not showing up.
Yeah, you gotta ghost out for a while, and then you gotta have that talk with yourself. Like, man, I knew how much work it took to get from nowhere to blue. Am I willing to do that again?
Totally.
Because out of millions of people that start, only 10% make it to blue belt.
That's crazy.
And of that 10%, I believe it's 1% make purple.
Yeah.
And then from there, the percentages actually go up. Because at that point, it's like, man,
you're in it now.
I have had some serious injuries and been through some shit to get to purple.
Right.
So might as well hang around until black. You know, at that point, people tend to stick around. But man, that first few years, it rolls. It's a grind, of people out. And I feel like our gym's more welcoming than some. Like I've trained at gyms where like, if you're new, like they don't give a fuck. They're just gonna smash you, and it's like deal with it, get better. You know, we're very like we'll smash you, but then it's like here's what you did wrong.
Totally.
You're giving up underhooks here. Make sure you keep your frames in. We'll tell people.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah. Why?
But that's gonna keep people coming back. Because if I go and you just are a fucking dick to me, I'm not coming back.
And I think that's the philosophy that's the culture that we've tried to create at Memento Mori is like. Are the people in the room good? Yes, we got some killers in the room.
Yeah.
But everyone in the room should be humble enough to work with the newest guy.
Totally.
And you should never treat someone that's brand new like shit. You should make them feel like they're just as part of the group as you. That's a black belt, brown belt, purple belt, whatever. You should treat everybody the same.
That's how you keep people coming back.
Yeah. And I think jiu-jitsu is fun. I will say this at blue belt. I think it's really important now to treat it like, you know, like when you started to learn guitar and you're I'm assuming probably more of a metal guitar player.
Sure, yeah.
But even metal guitar players, sometimes they'll get bored and they'll be like, dude, I want to practice like classical.
Some chicken picking.
Yeah,
or some fucking,
I want to learn chicken picking.
I need to do
or
something
you'll see a weird blues thing and you're like, I want to learn that. Or that's a cool jazz chord. I'm going to learn that. And that makes your style. I think at blue belt, that's the time where you do that. Like when I got my blue belt, I started doing a ton of leg locks. I'm not a great leg locker. I mean, I know all the positions and I coach them. I teach them. It's not my A game. But I play those, and that's from experimenting a lot at blue belt. I think that's the belt where you kind of just try it all. You play a little jazz, you play a little blues.
Sure.
And then when you hit purple, you kind of have this game that, like, you know stuff from everywhere, pretty sound.
Yeah.
But you have one thing that you're really great at.
Yeah.
You know, most purple belts, to me, when I roll with them, they're like a black belt at one thing.
Right.
Like, their half guard is awesome, or their leg lock game is awesome. And the rest of it is good, but not awesome.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's like a timing thing.
Yeah.
So what is, because you know, you're pretty humble about stuff, but what is your forte?
I find myself as I get older, like I said, playing a lot of stuff where I connect to people. I have a big pressure game now.
Yeah.
I didn't embrace being big when I was a lower belt. I really went for like, you know, barambolos and like double trouble leg locks and heel hooks and things like that. But as I've gotten older, I've embraced, I'm old, I'm big. I play a pressure game.
Yeah.
On the bottom, I really like butterfly half guard. So that's half guard where you're laying on your side, but you have 1 foot kind of butterfly hooked in. And I use that to enter the legs or to sweep or to set up Kimuras.
Yeah.
And I like, and you're not going to know what any of this is, but I'll just tell you.
I'm here.
I like a Kimura trap system. So using a two-on-one grip on the arm to get to more advantageous positions. So there is the obvious, you get a Kimura grip, you can Kimura someone.
Right.
But if they defend it, using that to take their back, using that to sweep them, using that to set up leg locks, to set up different styles of back takes, that's probably my thing that I feel like if I were going to go teach a clinic at another gym, I feel like I could teach a Kimura trap system clinic. And
pretty well.
People would leave and be stoked.
Yeah, because when you do your Kimura stuff, it's like step by step to get there. then from here you can move to this, you can move to that. You know,
Yeah.
there's like a million other. It just opens up all these
I rarely
possibilities.
use it as
Where
a Kimura, which
most
is an arm lock, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like you come over the top and you're kind of like putting their arm in an L shape and you're trying to snap their shoulder. I don't use it for that. I use it to set up other stuff. Which is like the magic of that grip, because as you get older, you realize when I'm going against these 20-year-old guys that wrestled in college that are 250 pounds, I'm not as strong as you. So I have to have two of my hands to your one hand all the time. I'm not as strong as you, so I have to have two of my hands to your 1 foot all the time. You always need to do a 2-on-1 to be able to control someone that's giant, right? And so I've developed this, you know, everyone has their own kind of style over the years, but over the course of 13 years, I've learned to, you know, minimize energy expenditure, be heavy, use the pressure, use your body type to your advantage,
and it wears them out,
and do 2-on-1 grips. Because if I grab just your wrist and you're yanking all around, I'm going to get tired just as quick as you do. If I have 2 on there, now you're carrying the load of both of my limbs, and maybe you get tired quicker, and then I can and a
lot of the people too, I mean, when you go for a Kimura, that's where they're going, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like for you to be able to teach, like, there's a million possibilities from here, you know what I mean? Like, you're basically faking a Kimura just to get them panicky, to get them in a position that you want them in, or you move them to somewhere else, you know? And if you can finish it, then great, you know what I mean? But a lot of it is like, it's trippy how much you just see these series of movements and you're like, I got the first part. I got, you know what I mean? And then you're like, fuck, there's like 40 other places to go from there. And then when you're rolling with someone that knows what they're doing, they see what you're doing. They are already countering. They already have their fucking steps that they're doing. You know what I mean? It's, you know. And
I think, and we're probably going out in the woods here, and this is like only jiu-jitsu nerds are going to like this episode now, but I will say that when you stop thinking about jiu-jitsu in terms of just moves and you think of it more in terms of broader concepts, like don't give up an underhook, things of that nature, and you start to look at, I don't just want to get a submission, I want to get a pin that leads to control, that leads to a submission. It increases your ability because you have to use less energy at this point, because you're putting wedges in the proper places to slowly isolate a limb to the point where all that's left is that arm is extended and you get the tap versus just muscling your way to a tap, which is something that, you know, new grapplers do. And if you're big and strong, it works. It worked for me. I was like powerlifting when I started jiu-jitsu. So I'd grab a purple belt and fucking rip an Americana and I'd tap them. And I'd be driving home and I'd be thinking, you know, that guy trained 7 years. I could have broke that guy's shoulder. But the reality is, not really. Not if you're working technique. That guy would destroy me 10 times out of 10. And then when you slow down and you grapple for several years, you start to look at it more as concepts. So I don't teach moves anymore. I teach concepts. This is a concept. This is a 2-on-1 grip. These are the things you can do with this grip. Let's go through it. And if even half of that sticks, then everyone in the room is getting better.
Dude. And it's obvious. I mean, when you're there, you know. But, it's such a cool environment, dude. And the more people, I tell people constantly all the time, but you know how it is. It's that you know, I watched Jocko like the other day was talking about what's the hardest belt to get, you know what I mean? And he said something.
Did he say white belt?
It said white belt.
Did he?
You know?
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, it is, you know, just the fear of even starting it, you know what I mean? Like, it really is just even to get there and be like, I'm gonna go wrestle with, like, you know what I mean?
It's tough.
Like,
it's intimidating.
It is.
That's another thing that we've worked on a lot at our gym is how do we, when someone comes in, how do we get them to, how do we mitigate some of that? So the thing that we do is, dude, when someone comes in, I don't care if people are rolling, whatever, I try to introduce them to everybody. So they immediately know, like, you're not just coming to a grappling gym, like, you're part of a community if you join. Here's all the people. This is Rex. He's the other head coach. This is Craig. He's a blue belt. This is this person. This is that. And then hopefully you mitigate some of that, but you're never going to mitigate all of it because it is scary. Like, I remember, so when I started jiu-jitsu, I had already spent most of my life, like, my parents had me in kickboxing. I had competed in kickboxing. I had switched to Muay Thai in my adulthood. And as soon as I did clinching in Muay Thai, I was like, whoa, like, this is new. Like, you can grab people and hold them while you punch them and stuff. This is badass. And so I was like, I want to do MMA. And when I bridged over to MMA, I'm like kind of like sparring with these people that have a background. Maybe they wrestled in high school or they're like a blue belt, purple belt in jiu-jitsu. And I quickly realized, like, oh my God, like this is like
so helpless.
amazing.
Yeah,
And another thing is it humbled me where I was like, you're young in your 20s, you're like,
dude.
I'm going to get in the cage. Immediately, it's like, I'll never do that.
Yeah, totally.
I will never be good enough to, I could do it, sure, as an amateur, even now if I want to, I could go do an amateur MMA fight, probably going to get beat up.
Probably.
You could, anyone could do it. But if you want to be good at it, it would involve, you should have already developed this skill set a while ago.
long time ago.
There are people
now,
that are much younger starting.
Yeah.
And to bring that back home to what we were talking about, I had all that experience. I had grappled a little bit with people. I'd been wrestled to the ground while I'm trying to kick someone in the leg, all these things. And even me, like when I started jiu-jitsu, I was terrified walking into my first jiu-jitsu academy.
Yeah.
I was like massive anxiety. Oh my God, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And my first class was pretty gentle. It was a blue belt, took me to a side room, showed me basics. This is side control. This is mount. This is your first submission. This is an Americana. This is this. And it wasn't as intimidating, but then I rolled.
Yeah.
And I rolled with a girl that was 120 pounds of brown belt who proceeded to just fucking strangle me any way she wanted to for 6 minutes.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, someone told me, don't use strength, just use your technique. Because that's big. Like I said, at that time, I was powerlifting, lifting very heavy weights. And this was like 2014 probably, or 2013. And they said, don't use strength. I said, okay, I'll use technique. And I did. And I got mauled. And as the roll progresses, like you do in your white belt, I was like, started to use more strength. So she gets me a mount, and I kind of throw her off. And I'm thinking, okay, this is the ticket. No, she still took my back and strangled me. And then I was sold. Yeah. I'm the type that, like, I'm kind of a glutton for punishment. I'm like, when I realize that when you show me something's real and I think it's cool, I get very, like,
just into it,
just tunnel vision.
Yeah,
like, that's all I want to do. And then I was hooked. It was like, I'll train every day that I can, And sometimes the first 2 years I would train, 5 or 6 days a week, sometimes twice a day. Yeah. Because it was like, when it's new, it's so new. It's like learning a new language, or music or art.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
And I compare it to music and art a lot, and I think that they are connected.
It's very similar. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like learning guitar. It's like when you've been playing guitar forever, you're kind of like, oh fuck, I'll dust this thing off and play again. But when it's new, it's so new. It's like someone shows you a new chord, and you're like, wow, that's rad. Now I'm gonna find a way to go from this chord to this chord, and it's going to sound really cool, and I'm going to connect them together, and I'm going to make a little song. Right. But jiu-jitsu is like that too. It's like, well, I learned this position and this one, and I can kind of see how if maybe I moved this way, I could end up over here now, and tie these submissions in with these ones, and then then you start learning lower body stuff like leg locks, and then forget it. It's like there's this circle around the body, and it's like, whoa, I could find my way around the whole body and hunt for submissions.
Totally, dude. Yeah.
Or defend submissions. And then it just gets, if you like it the way I like it and my nerdy friends like it, then you get hooked. Yeah. And it's more like a video game. Yeah. And I think our gym is less, we don't have a lot of meatheads. No, and dude, I don't see those in jiu-jitsu anyway.
I can't think of one,
John.
What
John Jensen?
Oh yeah,
no, he's not a meathead.
Total meathead, man. Yep. Especially now that he shaved his beard off, he looks very meathead.
But no, most of the guys at our gym are gamers.
Oh, totally.
Major stoners.
They're like playing Yu-Gi-Oh, like on the mat. And shit. They're
it's just
nerds,
like the garage door opens and open mat starts, and it's just like a cloud of weed smoke from everyone that was like high in their car, coming in to roll for a few hours and solve the problem like they're playing a video game. Yeah. And it's like, oh, I beat this guy by hitting this button quicker, and I caught a leg lock, or I caught this heel hook. Yeah. And then afterward, they play video games until 11 o'clock at night on the screen.
Literally, it's like...
we have like every console.
Don't you have like a GameCube? We have a GameCube in there.
Once one gamer realized I didn't care, they were like, can I bring in like a GameCube? I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. Just put it on that shelf. Yeah. And then everyone's like, well, can I bring a Wii? Can I bring? So now we have every console. we could probably do a more efficient thing. We could probably get like a cherry pie and just put it all in there. But it is kind of neat. Like it looks like a little vintage. Like it reminds me of like someone's living room in the early 90s now, which is
so
dope.
What you're saying is basically there's a lot of fucking Tylenol floating around over there, dude.
Oh yeah, yeah. When I saw that, the RFK thing about Tylenol, I was just laughing. I was just like, that's like me and everyone I do jiu-jitsu with. Apparently all of our parents were fucking mainlining Tylenol. That's the case. Because we're all definitely on the spectrum. Like,
did you see Mikey Musiechi, whatever his name is?
Oh my God.
Mikey Musiechi.
Did you see what his speech after he won that BJJ?
Oh, did
he thanked Tylenol for being the best supplement.
Yep.
You know, he's our leader in terms of like the Tylenol brigade. That guy's like up there.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a
really
genius. Like
It's
he
crazy,
is
He's
a grappling
incredible.
savant.
Yeah.
A martial arts savant. Like
Yeah.
I guess he does Muay Thai and stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude's a genius when it comes
Yeah.
to this stuff.
What do you think about the Moneyberg shit, dude? So, for you don't know, what's his actual money?
Derrick Moneyberg.
Derrick Moneyberg. He got his black belt in 3.5 years. Supposedly 2.5 years, which is fucking. Otherwise, besides BJ Penn, I think is the only other one that's ever got it that fast.
BJ Penn was 5 years.
But yeah, I heard it was 3,
And
4,
I think
or something.
he probably won worlds at every belt to prove that
Probably,
he was ready
yeah.
for the next
But
belt.
so this super rich billionaire has been paying all these people to train him in jiu-jitsu. He's now a black belt, and fucking the jiu-jitsu community is like fucking over it, I guess. It seems like
it caused a major thing.
It really did, yeah.
So I got to be careful what I say because I've heard that any professor or coach at a gym that said stuff, it gets like legal emails from him.
Sure, yeah. Yeah.
But I don't really care about that, so I'll just say what
Legal
I want.
emails for what?
Like
He's sending out
defaming
cease and
him.
desist
Yeah, he
notices.
does not
Oh, really?
like.
Yeah.
He didn't expect the jiu-jitsu community to be like, "What the hell?"
The fuck, dude. Yeah.
So here's my thought. Okay, I've thought about this a lot. So he's done jiu-jitsu 2.5 years. Do I think he's a real black belt? No, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. He took lessons from some of the best people in the world.
100%.
So does he maybe know all the moves a black belt
Sure.
knows? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure he knows like some amazing systems, some great concepts.
Right.
I mean, go train with John Danaher for 3 years.
Sure.
And go to every class, and I promise you will know amazing concepts of how to pin and lead to a submission, how to do leg locks properly,
Right.
All the positions, right?
Sure.
Submissions from everywhere. However, there is a component in our sport that involves where you need to live roll to apply this in real time.
100%. That was my thought.
So if
Yeah.
you're taking privates for instance, he took privates from Gordon Ryan. Gordon Ryan is the greatest of all time. He's
Right.
undisputed,
Yeah.
no gi, greatest grappler of all time. In gi, it's probably Hodger Gracie, but no gi, Gordon. So yeah, dude, I mean, you get to take a private with Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to learn some amazing stuff. But when Gordon rolls with you, Gordon's flow rolling with you as a coach. We all do this. I do this
Right.
with my students. Say I teach a position or a system or a concept.
Mm-hmm.
When I roll, I intentionally put them in that position or I put myself in that position to see if they learned anything.
Right.
So we can pick it apart and move. So that's what's happening in these private classes is I taught you this, Gordon maybe teaches him, okay, when you get to mount, I want you to go to 4x4 mount and control with this underhook and go under the head. Now that you've isolated this, I want to talk about 3 or 4 ways you could enter head and arm choke. I want to talk about when to move to high mount. Is it when you only have 1 underhook or 2? Now you've moved to high mount because you had 2 underhooks. Here's how we're going to set up seated arm bars. So he's going
Right.
through these systems.
Right.
And there's no doubt the guy's learned them. The guy's a bright guy. He
Sure.
seems pretty high IQ. Like
Obviously,
hearing him
yeah.
talk, he's smart.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt that he's learned the systems. But when he's rolling with them, it's not like he's getting 100% resistance. It's like, okay, cool, you got to mount on me, bro.
Right.
Oh, you missed the underhook. Get the underhook. Oh, you have an underhook. Where's your head control?
Right, right.
Okay,
He's being
bring the
baby
underhook
stepped
up.
through
Yeah,
everything.
take the second underhook.
Right.
Now you can raise your knees to high mount. So he's working
Yeah.
him through these mount systems. But he's not really rolling at like a he needs to come into population with a room of like stoner gamers
Yeah.
like mine,
Yeah.
where everyone in the room is going to try to fucking rip your arm off,
Right.
respectively.
And they're not participating in your little fucking system. You know
Not
what
in
I
a
mean?
mean way, but they don't care that you're rich. Like,
Right.
let's see what you got.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be real rough.
Yeah.
So then if I were him, and I wanted to prove that I were a black belt, I would start going to some open mats at big gyms. He
Totally.
can afford to go to any gym.
Obviously, yeah.
Go to B-Team. Go to Roca.
Yeah.
Roll
Yeah.
with their black belts.
Yeah.
Come to small baby gyms that don't have ADC champions like
Right.
my gym.
Right.
Roll with our blue belts.
Right.
Yeah.
See how it
See how
goes.
you do. Yeah.
And you
I'm
should
willing to
anyways, yeah?
bet- Yeah, you should if you really want to, like,
Be
Yeah.
the best.
yeah, or if you really want to, retain those skills, you got to use them.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Drilling all day is great, but the live roll is important. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
because when you like we'll run through a fucking concept with you, and then you go to live roll, and I'm thinking about like, okay, I got to get this guy here, and then this motherfucker is not participating at all in what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's
And
not
I'm like,
not
I can't
giving
even
you his
I
arm.
can't
Yeah.
I can't even get him in the fucking
Sure.
area to where I want to start.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And it's like, that's the thing. It's like, this guy took classes on how to be a professional race car driver. And on paper, he's a professional race car driver, but has never been on the track.
That's a great
you know what
analogy.
I mean? Like,
That's a great
really
analogy.
where I think about it. You know, it's like,
and jiu-jitsu is interesting in that way too. That it doesn't matter how fit you are. Clearly, I'm not the most fit guy, right? I have been at times, but I'm not now.
yeah.
But if you have 10,000 reps of practicing an armbar setup, you can bet you're probably going to armbar a fit guy that doesn't know how to defend that.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And so it's like, if I've played this game 10,000, 20,000 times, and you've played it 20 or 30 times with a high-level coach that walked you through it, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
So I guess
It's like playing a video game with only bots.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Then you get into multiplayer and you're like,
Holy
I'm
shit.
getting sniped
Yeah.
from every fucking position
right?
ever on planet
Yeah.
Earth. You know what I mean?
So in terms of him being a black belt, I mean, it's weird because in jiu-jitsu, there's no like set thing.
Yeah.
What makes a black belt?
and that started a whole conversation. Should
Right.
there be a set fucking system to become a black belt?
But who sets that system?
That's the thing.
Each
Who
gym.
Yeah. You know.
And then that's
But
why
then it
gets
becomes a whole
strange.
different thing. Yeah.
And the bigger argument here, Craig, it's that made the jiu-jitsu community upset is we don't want it to turn into karate.
100%.
Like when I
yeah.
was a little kid, I was a black belt.
Right, in karate.
In a few years.
yeah, totally.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I could get beat up by anyone.
And
when
yeah,
I-
literally,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Jiu-jitsu, it's different.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I had knee surgery by the time I was a blue belt.
Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
takes a long
It's a
time.
lot, yeah, it's
a
It
lot,
takes a
dude. Yeah.
long time.
It's always blown my mind when you're around somebody and their parents and they're like, "Oh no, my son's a black belt in Taekwondo and he's 14 years old. He'll
Yeah.
fuck you up." You're like, "Really?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's
yeah.
a black belt." And you know you don't really want to say anything, but you're like in your head, you're like, "He's not.
Yeah.
He's
It's wild, man.
Yeah.
you know."
And then you get into Muay Thai.
Yeah.
They don't even have belts.
Yeah, there's no belts
Well,
at all.
I mean, like Dwayne Bang has a beltish system that he teaches.
Oh, really? Okay.
But it's probably more just so he can keep track of where
Sure,
people are
yeah.
at.
Yeah.
But yeah, in Muay Thai, you got these kids that are like 6 years old smoking cigarettes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
doing burner fights, and they're 6.
Yeah.
How good do you think they are when they're 20?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
They'll kick your head off.
Yeah, it's wild.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Moneyberg thing is weird, dude. But everyone's been fucking.
Yeah,
put
so
on-
Real
if-
quick,
if-
who just passed away?
In jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Somebody
away?
passed away. I don't know if it was just jiu-jitsu or if it was MMA, but somebody passed away today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like MMA fighter, probably. Or
Oh,
something?
we'll have to look that up.
No,
Yeah.
I think it was a jiu-jitsu player.
Really?
Yeah.
Let us know,
Kenny?
Kenny.
Yeah.
Who died in MMA or jiu-jitsu today?
Yeah.
I'll get it, Ken.
But so to answer your question, if we're doing it off of just like he knows the moves and can demonstrate them back
Sure.
in a rote way, sure, he probably knows what a black belt knows.
Sure, yeah.
But the application of teaching it to someone else and doing it in a live role, no.
That's where I think. Yeah. I'm
No,
like
and he knows it.
Yeah.
You
Of
know,
course
if
he
you
does,
want to
yeah.
sue me, go for it. But
Duke something.
Yeah, Duke
Rufus.
Duke Rufus passed today.
that's
I don't know who. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's not an MMA. He's Muay Thai or it was a.
Microphone.
Oh yeah. He was out of, I believe he was out of like Europe. He's out of Switzerland or something.
Yeah,
He's just
coach.
yeah,
He's a
Duke
coach?
Rufus.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
sad.
but high level. I mean, he used to fight years and years and years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, trippy. Yeah, it's wild, man.
But yeah, I mean, like, you know, so if you want to sue me, Moneyberg, like for
Yeah.
saying that, that's okay. But
well,
then
he'd
I
actually be suing us probably too.
Well,
so.
how's he-
but then I would
Yeah.
offer
Fuck
you.
you, Moneyberg. How's that?
Yeah.
So bring it to me, dude.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
But then
I'll fuck you up. Meet me out in the streets.
yeah, exactly.
But then I would,
Yeah.
I would also say like, you know, come roll with me. You know,
100%.
I'm a brown
Yeah.
belt. You
Yeah.
know, and I didn't train under Gordon Ryan.
100%.
You know, so
totally.
come on through.
And I mean,
We'll see.
and dude, is he? Because is it a speculation that he's just only rolling and he's doing all these privates and he's not actually rolling against
Well,
other
he's
people,
rolling,
or-
but when you roll with a coach, it's very different than rolling with
Yeah.
another
Well,
guy
that's what I'm saying.
that
Do we
doesn't
know-
care if you get to practice the
yeah,
position.
Yeah.
But do you know if he's not actually doing that? You
I
know
don't
what I
think
mean?
he
He's
is.
claiming that he is. He's claiming that he has footage of him fucking
Let's
up
see it.
UFC fighters and shit. You know what I mean?
Oh, well.
I'm like, okay, cool, dude. Great.
Maybe, I mean, there are some UFC guys that don't have a ton of jiu-jitsu experience,
Sure.
but most of them have at least some
Yeah,
great,
he claims that he
great
has footage.
wrestling.
Yeah.
He's going to be releasing of him fucking up UFC champions, and I was like,
No, it's not.
Okay.
Maybe there's some mental illness
What? Yeah.
component. Like, I don't know about
Yeah,
that.
it's
I
wild.
mean, I'll be the first to admit if I'm wrong. And I'm not judging, dude. I mean, it's everyone's journey's their own journey. I'm just happy that he's doing jiu-jitsu.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He is spreading.
He's obviously in love with it.
He's spreading
you
the
know?
word of something that I spend 7 days a week teaching and doing that I
Totally.
love very
Right,
much.
right.
And it's very dear to my
Yeah,
heart.
yeah.
The other side of it is I love it so much that I spent a lot of years and got injured a lot to get to where I am.
Right.
And I'm not a black belt.
Right. Exactly.
So,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah. It's a little bit of like, all right, man. Well, fucking good for you. You know?
Yeah. If you have the cheat code, man, share
man,
it.
please let
He
me know.
probably will. That'll probably be the next thing is like,
Yeah.
pay me $1,000 and I'll teach you
Moneyberg
how to
fucking-
be a black belt in 3
Yeah.
years. And everyone that does
a new
jiu-jitsu
business.
legitimately will be like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or they'll say okay and then break his foot.
Yeah.
Well, hey, all right. So switching topics, getting off jiu-jitsu. I
Sorry.
want to. You've been writing new music,
Yeah.
dude. I want to hear what's going on. What the fuck are you doing, dude? Because he is a crazy talented musician, dude. Just like writes fucking killer heavy music. You know what I mean?
Thanks, man.
Yeah. And,
Yeah,
yeah. So what's fucking going on with the music world right now, dude?
So I've been collaborating with Leary, the other main songwriter from With Arms to the Sun, and we've been writing. We're gonna put some stuff out.
Are you?
Yeah, we have some songs that are. They're like songs we started, years ago that are on Dropbox, and then every year we'll listen to them and be like, I still like this. Maybe
Yeah.
we should
Maybe we should
actually
revisit.
finish
Do
it.
something with it.
And we're busier, we're older. He's a ethical hacker. He has like a cyber security
Oh,
type
shit,
job.
really?
Yeah, he's
Ethical hacker?
yeah. That's like when you're on the side of like where you block the hackers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, or you could be the guy. There's red team and blue team. It's like Pokemon. or you
Yeah.
could be the guy that pretends you're a new employee at like a hospital and hacks their whole system and then writes them a report.
Yeah.
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 Like, have you ever met Josh that comes in our gym sometimes? He's on that team.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Crazy.
So, but anyway, no, we're working on stuff. We're
that's
getting
awesome,
stuff, and there's a crypto dude that actually was the guy that like funded my gym that like I did a whole bunch of work for him where I composed music for his project called Midnight Breeze. And that's more like orchestral, like lo-fi stuff.
Yeah.
But that is coming out this week. And that was something that I spent a year working on the music for that. And I was like, I didn't know when it was going to come out. And it's been a few years since I
when you say
finished that.
orchestral, are you actually using like orchestra instruments
Yeah,
and shit?
composing orchestra, like
Yeah.
so string sections, wind sections.
That's
and
fucking crazy,
percussion,
yeah.
and then like either having studio musicians re-record the stuff that I composed, or using MIDI to compose it with
To compose it with,
VSTs. Yeah, and it's a hybrid of both.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of these, like, this dude wanted a lot of saxophone parts. Because there's this, like, 80s element, and it's, like, Japan at night,
Oh, okay.
It's, like the old school anime, like Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know? So,
yeah.
like, there were a lot of sax things that I composed. And, dude, composing saxophone, like, made me have nightmares. Like, Kenny G would be like, I'd have sleep paralysis, and he's just standing over me with the
Yeah.
saxophone naked. But yeah, dude, like, so some of that, it's like I'd compose sax melodies and sections and harmonies and then send them to the guy, and he'd be like, I signed off on that.
Oh,
And then
okay.
he would pay me, and then I would hire a session musician and be like, all right, like, rip this sax part, bro.
Dude, so are you actually writing the music down and all? You're doing all that? Like,
No, I don't
You're just
notate.
making it like as
Yeah.
you go. You're hearing things that need to be
Yeah.
added. Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
Because that's the fucking crazy. Like we were talking about Danny Elfman not too long ago. It's like, what the fuck? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? For him to literally, he can notate every fucking instrument, wants to
Yeah.
hear it exactly how. It's like,
Yeah. So
you
I
know.
can do that if I sit and I really nitpick it. I know enough music theory nowadays to do that.
Yeah.
But that's something that I developed. Like, I didn't start that way. Like, I know a lot more music theory than I did. Like, I
Oh,
used
yeah.
to always be a play by feel kind of person.
That's how I am still to this day.
Yeah, and
I'm
then
so lacking in that.
And then when
dude.
I got into the orchestral stuff, I would take these classes and they'd be like, now take that violin part and for the viola, play it 1/3 up. And I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what?
Wait, what?
And so,
Yeah.
like, with MIDI, I could look and be like, oh, if I drag it up 3 places, it's a third. But
Yeah.
then I had to actually study what is a third, what is a fifth.
Right,
And
yeah.
learn harmony. And
Yeah.
learning harmony really helped. Like, it helped with my actual band music and stuff,
Totally,
too.
yeah.
Because then I could hear, like, a note. And then it was like, oh, well, if I know what key the song is in, then I know that only X amount of notes can be in that key. So the reason why you playing that part in that lead is sounding funky in the mix is because it's actually not a note that's in key to the song.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas I don't think I could have done that when I was younger. I would just be like, why is that note weird?
Sounds weird, dude.
Yeah.
Move it up a half step.
Yeah, it sounds weird. Like, go like,
Bend it instead.
which works too.
Totally, man.
It works too.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit faster if you know why.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, working on music. I switched from, I was a Schecter artist for years. I had an endorsement deal with Schecter where like they would send me guitars, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, but now I play ESPs.
Oh, yeah.
And I switched from a 6-string to a 7 and 8-string.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm playing in lower tunings and
Nice,
stuff
dude.
now.
Yeah, it's my
so with
realm.
Arms of the Sun was always in drop C, and now I'm like 2 steps lower with a lot of the stuff I'm working on. Yeah,
That's fucking rad, dude. I want to hear the tunes, dude.
yeah, it's cool. I'll send it to you. I'll send you some.
I mean, with all the musicians at Memento Mori, dude, we should have a Memento
we
Mori
easily
band.
could form a super group.
Totally, dude.
There's literally like Walker's a rad drummer, and he sings and plays guitar. He's a really good musician. You got Chris Cardenas is a wizard at guitar. You and me play.
Yep.
Fabio.
Yep.
I mean, Rick.
Yeah.
Like, so many musicians.
It's wild.
Jiu-Jitsu attracts a lot of musicians too.
Artist.
It's that brain, yeah. Creative people like it.
Yeah, it's
you
trippy,
know?
dude.
Because it is a creative thing. It's like once you learn the concepts and the systems, there is room for creativity. It's not a concrete thing.
No.
There are more than one ways to get to this underhook or to get to this arm bar or to get to this thing. And it's like, what's your creative way to get there? And then you get these really high level guys that are so creative that they just have their own style, and it's
Eddie Bravo.
Yeah, Eddie Bravo, exactly.
Eddie Bravo,
he invented his
Craig
own
Jones,
style.
fucking,
Yeah, Craig Jones, Mikey, Gordon. These guys are so good that watching them is just like it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Like to me, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm a fucking nerd like
Yeah.
with grappling.
Yeah.
I watch it and I'm just like, oh my God, look at that. Look at that Berimbolo. Look at that leg
at
lock
that
that
entry,
Mikey
dude.
set up. It's so beautiful. What a work of art this is. But it really, it's art. It's watching art to me. It'd be like someone that's a ballerina watching a high level dancer.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did he do that? That's so cool. And I'll rewatch it on YouTube at half speed and then I'll try to teach it in class.
Totally. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just such a trippy. I just love how you do it over there, dude. It feels very comfortable, very at home. I think Kenny, we're getting close to an hour. 35 minutes.
Cool.
Oh, that's it. Nice.
36.
Okay, cool.
Good.
But you're doing a bunch of free like programs and shit there, which I want to, because every time you've been on, we never talk about the gym, so I want to make sure you throw out like what you got going on. You know what I mean?
So I started a junior grapplers program. So this was a dream. This was a huge dream of mine, and I'm pretty proud about this. So when I was a kid, you know, we were poor, right? We, you know, lived in a half trailer, half house in a town of under 1,000 people, and everyone there lived in trailers. It wasn't like I didn't come from much, right? So a lot of the sports in the town I was in would not exist without a whole bunch of community people volunteering their time.
Right.
There was like one of my best friends as a kid, his mom, Linda, got super involved and formed Little League. And it was like, yeah, we could have met up at a dirt field and played catch, but she made it where we could travel and play games and do all this stuff. And this is from community involvement. So like growing up, I idolized these people because I was like, look what they did. Like they created something from nothing, you know? So a lot of my martial arts as a kid came from like, you know, being able to go and do kickboxing and like some trailer in some town by a river where there's this dude that you don't really know if he's a black belt, but he's showing shit you don't know. So I'm going to show up and box with this guy, you know, and a lot of it just, it was a lot of community involvement and people just investing their time into me as a kid to be able to make me good at things. Because it wasn't like we had thousands of dollars like Moneyberg to go to private classes. So I started this program at MMGC where any kid, and the age cutoff right now is 12 and up because we found when we did this with the really little kids, it turned into more like babysitting where people are like sick. There's a place I can
dude. I remember coming in.
Yeah,
dude.
it's
I was like,
there's a place I can bring kids for free and just drop them off for an hour, and then these kids didn't want to be there. And I'm like, wait, so you don't want to learn jiu-jitsu? No, my parents are like, no, but on Saturdays I'm gonna drop you off here for an hour. So that didn't work. But from 12 to 18, what we found is everyone that comes in is super excited, and they've wanted to take jiu-jitsu for years, but it's so expensive. We're currently the cheapest jiu-jitsu place in town, and it's still not cheap. Jiu-jitsu's not cheap, right? To keep the lights on, to pay the building. But this program is 100% free. There's no catch. if you are from this age to this age and you want to train at my gym, there's a few days a week and a few classes and open mats that are completely open to you.
Right.
All I need is for your parents to sign a waiver, and you can come in and you can take jiu-jitsu from me all you want.
Right.
And it's 100% free. I don't limit it to anyone. It's free to any kid in Ventura County. So I have all these kids from Oxnard, Ventura, this high school team, this high school wrestling team, that high school wrestling team that all meet up a few days a week, and they are awesome.
Yeah.
They are so good at jiu-jitsu. I've been working with these kids for like 8 months, and some of them are like seriously like close to blue belt level.
Right.
They know all their fundamentals, and they just roll and they just give 100% because these kids wanted a shot. And we live in a society where if you don't have, then too bad. You don't get a shot.
Right.
I wanted to start doing martial arts. I was like 12, 13.
Yeah.
I mean, and there just was I didn't get to do anything until I went to Detroit. And
that
then
makes me sad.
They just threw me in a boxing ring with adults and said, "Here, fight."
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm like, "All right." And I learned, you know what I mean? I had to figure it out. But I remember like looking in the window and watching kids do karate and going, "Man, I want to get in there."
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Dude.
And then you're like,
and then you look at the price, and it's like,
my parents
there's
are
no
never
way,
going to
dude.
pay for this. So
I don't ever want. I would love if in 20 years some kid comes back to me that's a world champion, even if they don't train under me and I haven't talked to him for 10, and they're like, "Thank you, because I got to do this for free for 7 years."
Right.
Yeah.
And by the time I was 18 and had a job, you gave me this foundation. That's enough for me.
Totally.
Yeah.
Dude,
And it's totally free. There's no catch. There's no sales pitch. There's no bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try to sell you a fucking gi
Right.
or some stupid crap like that. If you want to train,
So
just
you
show
a
up
black
and train.
belt when you're 17, like we talked
Yeah.
about.
All I ask is that you just show up and you work hard and you try. And all
Totally.
these
Yeah.
kids do. They're my savages. And hey, jiu-jitsu community, when I start bringing these kids to tournaments, because
gonna
I'm
be
in
a
the
problem.
process right now
Yeah.
of trying to get donations. If anyone out there is listening, I'm trying to find ways to fund these kids' entrances to tournaments, because tournaments are like $100 a pop. So I got like 18 or 20 kids that want to compete.
Yeah.
So I got to find a way to make it happen.
I know a billionaire that just got his black belt. You
Well,
might want to reach out to him.
Moneyberg, dude.
It's funny, we've talked about that. Yeah. I take it back.
You're a legit black belt, dude.
No. But yeah, when I figure this out,
Yeah.
mark my words,
Yeah.
I'm bringing a crew of killers and we're going to take team trophies. My teens are going to run your ass over.
Yeah.
Because my kids want it more than yours do, I promise.
Yeah, man. Understanding the importance of like giving kids an opportunity, you know, because it's not cheap to run your place. You got a pretty small gym, but it's not fucking cheap. And even with what you charge, it's at least not double, but it's fucking a lot at every other gym, you know. But for you to have like, and just one of the more important things about the foresight to understand kids need a chance. They need an outlet. They need an opportunity to fucking do something. You know what I mean? And for you to give it out like that with no strings attached, because they'll do that at other places for 3 months. And then it's like, hey, now you got to buy in. You know what I mean? And they're hoping that the kid's hooked by then and it's important to them, you know, and the parents.
And
you
hear not good things about different places. Like
I mean,
within Ventura County,
There's
you're
great
like, this guy
places.
is
There's
very...
also some fucking
It's expensive, and you know, full disclosure, the gym's been open a couple years. It still doesn't turn a huge profit.
Sure.
But that was never why I did it in the first place.
Of course.
And big shout out, like, thank God for Coach Rex.
Yeah.
Because he's been there with me the whole time.
Yeah.
As soon as I was able to pay that kid a salary, he was the first person that I was like, every week you will get paid no matter what. Because he's in it with me, dude.
Yeah, he
There's
really is.
15, 20 classes a week that need to be taught, and he and I are teaching all those classes.
Yeah.
And there's times, man, where he and I midweek we'll look at each other and he'll be like, you want to go sit in a hot tub somewhere? And I'll be like, yeah.
Please.
And we'll go sit in a hot tub and we'll just be like, man, we got to go back tonight. We got to roll all over again for 2 hours.
Crazy, dude.
But he's been in it with me, man.
Yeah.
And it's been like the most beautiful, exciting, fun journey of my life. To build this community.
Yeah. And it was done because you want to build a community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's like I would assume, you know, when people are starting a business, they want it to be profitable, right? I mean, that's, you know what I mean? But
not me.
It's so fucking, it's very like punk rock DIY to like, I want to just build a thing, you know what I mean? And building the thing allows people to come, you know? And
I'm a big believer in energy, and I think that what you focus on you'll bring more. And I do believe that if all you dwell on is I need to make a profit, I need to make a profit, you almost push it away from you.
Oh, 100%.
And I really think what it's about is the money will come if it's going to come.
Right.
But you should just commit to the community part and being a coach and trying to change lives, and the rest will fall into place.
100%. Yeah. And that shit bleeds out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I get emotional talking and thinking about it, but I can't believe like what we've built.
Totally.
Like, it's amazing to me.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful. So grateful.
Yeah, man.
So grateful.
It's really, really cool. But it starts, and I'm sure you don't get the flowers you deserve, but it starts with you, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it's like I'm sure you get wincy like I do when people compliment you, but it's needed, dude. It really, I mean, it just, when I saw you were doing that free program for kids, I was like, this guy's, first of all, why are you going to torture yourself like that? You know what I mean? It's fucking brutal. It's like dealing with a bunch of kids all day, but.
Yeah, but if I don't do it, man, it's not going to happen.
No one gets the chance,
like, the whole philosophy of this gym from the start and with my band, everything I've ever done has all came from the philosophy of, if you see something that you want in the world that doesn't exist, create it. I'm sure that's why your podcast exists.
Right.
And I'm sure that's why the format of your podcast is what it is. You saw a podcast, you liked it listening to them, and you thought, man, I would like it if this existed. It didn't, and you guys created it.
Right.
Go you. It exists because you guys did that. We're here in this awesome studio that you guys created because you had the wherewithal to see that shit through.
Yeah.
And I'm that way too, man.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah. Or Craig, who doesn't get his flowers, maybe, right?
Don't leave me hanging.
Trying to shit.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
But
I gave you props right off the top.
I know.
Man.
But the gym, my music stuff, it's always been that. It's been, man, I hear something in my soul. I see something that doesn't exist that I want to exist.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it on the line and I'm going to make it.
It is really cool that you are being so inclusive and trying to get, like, Craig obviously hates kids except for his own. Because that's the first thing he said was, like, I don't want to ever be around all those kids in the class because it's an absolute nightmare. Yeah. And you're like, but kids are good people. You know what I mean? And you can tell the difference in what a good person you are. Yeah.
No, kids can be really hard to deal with. But the reality
do a podcast with one.
This is what I try to think of. When I have a difficult kid in class, and oh my God, have I had
I know.
hundreds of them over the last decade.
Yeah.
I always try to think this kid that is the most hyper, the most difficult. A, they're a lot like me at that age because I was a little tyrant.
Right.
And B, they probably need this more than
anybody.
They are not getting the support they do at home.
Right.
And C, if I can get them to hone all that energy into a passion where they focus, not only will they be a champion, but it will leak over into every other area of their life.
Yeah.
They will not fail the way they are currently set up to fail by our shitty fucking system.
Totally.
And if I can make one little change
Right.
and help one person, it was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you're like, can you please stop trying to peel the pads off the fucking walls, dude?
I've seen it all,
you're a dad
man.
too, so it's like you're already in the mix raising kids right now too. You know what I mean?
I had a kid once that I taught. I won't name any names. I won't even say what school I was coaching at. This is way before I owned a gym.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, man, come on, line up. We got to get class going. And you're holding up the class. He goes, fuck you, asshole.
And you're like, you know what? Let me use you as the dummy.
No,
dude.
I went home that day and I thought about it. And I thought, man, if this kid has that much balls at this age, he needs this more than anybody.
Yeah.
And I put so much of myself into that kid. And he ended up being good and being a champion. He ended up competing. And I don't know if he's still a little shit or not. Thank God I don't coach him. I'm just kidding.
Fuck you.
But dude, like, man, those kids need it.
Yeah.
And then what's his parents like? You know what I mean?
Awful. I'm sure they're
either
awful.
complete they're either complete enablers
it's
or
never
they're
the
just
kid.
assholes.
It's never the kid. Just
always the parent.
like a pet, right?
Yeah.
I've had a few pit bulls. I have one right now.
Right.
People are like, oh, pit bulls are bad. No, there's bad owners.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not the
100%.
dog.
Yeah.
It's not the kid. It's bad parents.
Right.
Yeah.
There are some shitty people that should have never had a kid, that are impulsive, that had a kid, and then now the kid's a terror, and they're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do with this kid. I'm going to put him in a martial art where they have to fight.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah.
Well, it's better than I worked at group homes, and it was, my kid is out of control.
Take him.
Take him. And then you get around the kid, and you're like, oh, your mom just wanted to go on vacation.
Right.
You know, and you would literally be like, hey, we got meetings with your kid. And they'd be, oh, I'm in Hawaii right now. I'll see you when I get back.
It's sad, dude. You coach these kids sometimes, and they'll open up to you, and they don't know they're sharing stuff that could get their parents in trouble. Yeah. But they say stuff like, "Hey, you know, my parents left me home alone for 8 days."
Yeah.
And these are 8-year-olds, and they're like, did anyone check on you? No, like, you know, I could walk to my neighbors if I needed to, but it's like, these are absentee parents.
Totally.
And then their kids are acting out in school. Their kids are picking fights.
And they don't know why.
Their kids are doing stuff that they're absolutely not supposed to do.
Totally.
Yeah.
And they don't understand why that is, right?
Yeah.
They don't understand why their kid is behaving that way.
Yeah, man.
And it's like, dude, like, no. You know,
It's so hard, dude. I mean, my mom told me a long time ago, and it's always stuck in my head, you know, because I'm about to have my first kid, and, you know, I had an absentee father, and she goes, dude, the easiest thing you can do is be a shitty dad.
Yeah.
It's the easiest thing. Yeah. Just you can be a shitty dad so fucking easy. She's like, it takes so much work to be a good father.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and it is true.
And you are
know?
a great father, by the way. I think
jury's
he's
out.
a great father.
Jury's
he's very
out,
involved with his kids.
Yeah.
You don't talk to his kids.
Yeah. I do talk to his kids. No, the other side of this coin that I want to mention is that you have to also accept that you can't save everyone, right? Yeah. I've learned that the hard way as a coach. I've lost sleep. I've cried. I've shed tears over kids that ended up not working out in my program, and then I hear they get into trouble, or kids that are now 18 that have been to jail. Yeah. And it makes me so sad, but I do have to detach a little bit.
Yeah, you have to.
Because I don't want to carry that with me. I need to have space in my hard drive for the kids that are there in the immediate that I can help. Yeah. But the door's always open, man. I have guys that are 23 years old that have been to jail that'll text me, "Hey coach, just so you know, I'm out of jail. You made a difference in my life." I'll be like, "Cool, here's my new gym. I own it. Yeah. Come in and train."
Totally.
You know? I'm always trying to ring them back in.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You know, it's like, I know if I can get you here that this will change your life. I just got to get you in the door.
Yeah, man. It's my wife deals with it at school, you know.
Of course.
Like, it's just the most horrendous situations for
your
kids.
wife's a saint, by the way.
She is, yeah.
When she tells me about her job, it's like, whoa, dude, like that's a whole level beyond what I'm doing.
She still has a hard time, like, she was talking to me about a kid yesterday that she's like, I'm worried that when she gets into fucking middle school, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I get it. Like, I get it that you're worried, but you also can't control any of that. You know what I mean?
That's why I quit working in group homes.
Yeah.
It's literally why, because it's just like, I'm like, you get one or two of them that you can kind of guide in the right direction. And then there's the few of them that you're like, you've done your job and you got them to where you want to get them, but as they're walking out the door, you see where they're headed, and you're watching the parent, or you're watching whatever's going on, and you're just like, man, this isn't.
You gotta. And then
I'm way too empathetic to it, so I just end up going. I literally was like, I can't do this. I just can't.
Yeah. It hurts me. Like, I physically hurt when I go through that. When I see them go through that, but I've learned not to be as much of an empath over the years, and just accept that, hey man, you did what you could. It's up for the rest of the society too that's failing this person. Right. You know? And
there's a lot of failing, dude.
And in the future, like, I want to do more community stuff. Like, I've already spoken with Ventura Police Department a month ago about hosting some clinics for police officers, because I believe every police officer should at least get a blue belt.
Yeah, dude.
And I think
bare minimum.
Yeah, bare minimum. And I think that I see these videos of them pinning people, and I'm like, dude, no way. Yeah. I have 140-pound white belts that could control a person better. This is not okay. Yeah, yeah. And this is why sometimes
you watch 4 of them that can't.
Yeah, and and it's not their fault, dude. They're not getting enough training.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
So A, I want to do it for them so they're safer, so they can get home at night safe. And B, so the people that they handle are handled safely. Right,
right. Right? Wait, shouldn't we just defund them?
Oh, God.
Yeah, just take all the money away. Yeah, it's perfect.
In theory, but what happens then? Yeah. You know? Who are you going to call?
To me, it's not even in theory. It is absolute ignorance when you think that defunding the police is the way to go. No. Because at some point in time, whether you think it or not, or understand or not, because you've lived such a privileged life that you've never been in the situation like
where you needed the police.
I better call the cops. Yeah. You know, the next door neighbor just walked out with an AK.
Hey, we've all met cops that we think are assholes.
Totally.
Yeah.
But we've also met ones that are heroes. And at the end of the day, Defunding? No. More community investment.
Refunding.
Let's
for
find
sure.
a way to train people
Totally.
better
Train
to
up.
help them.
Train 'em
Because
up.
it's not like they don't want to do it. The cops are fit guys, dude.
Yeah.
They'd love to do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But they also have families. They get paid shitty to be cops.
Right.
Yeah.
They're not going to spend $300 a month on top
Totally,
of that.
yeah.
So there should be programs. There
Yeah.
should be community programs or whatever
Yeah.
that funds these guys, like I said, getting blue belts.
Yeah.
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 Because it'll help you be better in the situations that you're dealing with.
Yeah.
If you feel more comfortable with yourself and what you can do when
Yeah.
somebody gets out of the car.
I'm gonna glaze Craig a little bit,
Mm.
and I'm gonna say Craig is a blue belt under me. I gave Craig his blue belt.
Yeah.
If we walked outside right now and a man larger than Craig and I is being crazy, Craig can put that person
Yeah.
down and pin them. I'm confident in that,
Yeah.
or he wouldn't be a blue belt.
Yeah.
There are police that I'm not confident in that I know currently.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
my
yeah.
neighborhood where I
Yeah.
think, I don't know if
Yeah.
you could help me.
You see,
Yeah.
you
I
see
mean, you could
Totally.
shoot someone or
Yeah.
shoot this for him.
You see people all the time that are cops, and you're like, what? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
It makes you. I always wonder, like, okay, so what do you have that's gotten you to the point where you're able to do this job? Is it just the fact that you can carry a taser and a gun, or is there actually something back there?
The best
that supports
the best
us?
police officers I met were the ones that invested in themselves and continued their education to learn as much as
Totally.
they could.
Yeah.
Like I have a friend that's a cop that's basically like a sharpshooter. I mean, he could put 10 rounds in a dot this big at 50 yards. He's also a purple belt in jiu-jitsu.
Right,
He
right.
also wrestled. I mean,
Right.
he invested in himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he's like, dude, I'm doing this job where
It's
it's
the-
scary.
yeah, it's so
like,
scary,
I
dude.
want to be really effective at it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like, I just think like, if we could find a way to help these dudes
Totally.
instead of, politicizing everything.
Yeah.
Everything is so fucking political
nuts,
now.
dude, yeah.
Let's just strip it down
Yeah.
to a community level. What can we do locally for our guys?
It
We
would
can't
make-
change the world.
It'd make the biggest difference if people would actually talk to them open-mindedly and discuss things.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that you could, because
Yeah.
everybody's just so caught up in their own little. We all.
Yeah.
Ad nauseum, we
And
could
on
talk
the other
about this,
side-
especially with all this no king shit going on right now.
Yeah.
We
On
all
the
have
other
an
side
echo
of that
chamber.
too,
Yeah.
the reason jiu-jitsu is super important, which I saw this dude say this the other day and it made me fucking laugh hysterically, is that only in jiu-jitsu can a
yeah,
felon go into a fucking gym and choke the living fuck out of cops.
Yeah.
And be fine.
And the
You
cops
know,
love him.
and the
And
cops
be like,
are fine
I love
with
that
it.
dude.
Yeah,
That dude's
totally.
hilarious.
You know,
Did you see the way
and
that dude
that's
took my
the bit-
back? Yeah. It's
like-
so cool.
It is very funny,
It's
man.
cool knowing
Yeah.
that you're in a community where like, half of the people probably voted this way. The
Yeah.
other half voted that way.
Yeah.
They do this. They do that. These guys are super religious. These
Yeah.
guys are atheists. This
Yeah.
dude's a metal guy that's a stoner. This dude's never smoked pot. Yet we all just fucking love each other
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because we have this thing that we're doing together that
Community.
yeah,
beautiful, man.
that's above all that. We can
Yeah.
put all
Yeah.
the other stuff on the back burner. We'll discuss that at times. You
Yeah.
know, we have tons of philosophical discussions in our gym at night when I'm cleaning them up in the mats. It
Right.
gets real political.
Yeah, yeah.
But we always walk away with, hey, even though we disagree, we're all like friends because of this
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
See you
This
tomorrow.
is the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
dude. Yeah.
Tomorrow we're gonna do it all over again.
Yeah. Well, it's
You
beautiful,
know?
dude. I mean,
Yeah.
we
Thank
probably
you.
wrap it up. I think me and you have to go pick up our kids.
Yes.
But, dude, check out Memento Mori. Thank you for everything you're doing, dude. I mean, just to meet someone that's so community-minded and loving and empathetic is so foreign to me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I
It's
just
foreign
appreciate
to all
you.
of us. That's why we need to do it.
No, you and I are there.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
We understand and appreciate people have
Yes,
emotions
that's
and care. Yeah. But
Anyway,
I don't
And
like this.
and I
I
appreciate
can't wait till this
this
camera
at
goes
all.
off, dude. I'm going to fucking
and I
get your
appreciate
ass.
what you guys do,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that you guys always have me on and help me
Of course,
promote
dude.
my various ventures. be
Totally,
at the
dude,
gym
yeah.
We
or
love it,
music,
man.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to beg you to come on again when I get some music out.
There you go.
Oh,
Fuck yeah, man.
yes.
Art out.
No,
All right,
we
let's get
really
the fuck outta
appreciate
here,
it.
huh?
Love you, dudes.
All right.
Love you, brother.
Bye.
You too, Kenny.